Welcome into Edinburgh, Texas, HEB Park. Here, home of Group B play for the Concacaf Women's Olympic qualifying. This second match of the day between Jamaica and Canada will be the end of the second day of group play here in Edinburgh. I'm Jordan Angeli alongside former U.S. international Casey White. What a day, Casey. 7 degrees, a little humid, perfect soccer weather.
Oh yeah, they have to be ready to get started. I'm sure they're ready to hit the field and really looking forward to a dynamic matchup here today.
This is what it looks like. Mexico in their second game already, just ending. They took down St. Kitts and Nevis 6-0. So they sit on top of Group B. Canada and Jamaica set here for their second match. Well, Canada had a big goal differential in their first match against St. Kitts and Nevis. 11 goals. Was Casey on before, or should I bring her back in? And as you look at this matchup, it's an interesting matchup, Casey. Two of the three teams that went to the 2019 Women's World Cup. And these two squads are here to compete for that spot, one of those two spots in the Olympics.
There's everything to play for here today. Jamaica needs to come out very, very strong and come into the game very quickly. And they want to make sure they've got it in a taste of the world stage, making sure to qualify here going forward.
That's Casey White. I'm Jordan Angeli. We will be with you. But first, we're going to welcome the teams onto the pitch and get the national anthem from Canada and from Jamaica. We'll be back in just a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to this 2020 Concacaf Women's Olympic qualifying group match, the national teams of Jamaica and Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Jamaica, to be followed by the national anthem of Canada.
every player for both sides singing along to their given national anthem. The passion of these athletes is on display here as they are set to face off in their second game of Group B play here in Canada, face Jamaica. I'm Jordan Angeli alongside former U.S. Women's International Casey White. We look at the Jamaica lineup, not a lot of changes. Sydney Schneider stays in goal for Jamaica.
Yes, they have some consistency here going into their second game, and the partnership of Shaw and Matthews up top is going to be something great to watch and see what they can generate against a very solid Canadian back line.
Shayna Matthews, maybe not quite the performance she would have liked in the first match for Jamaica, but this is a dynamic player who knows how to threaten back lines. As we take a look at our officiating crew for this one. It's going to be Maria Tover as the fourth official, Ekaterina Koroleva, Tona Diane, Felicia Marshall, and then Melissa Boras Pastrana right there, our center official from Honduras. Bunny Shaw towering over Desiree Scott, the two captains. Very different attributes to both of their games, but crucial in the way that they contribute to their squads.
Yes, it just shows that leadership can come in many different facets. You have Desiree Scott, who really holds down that midfield for Canada.
Stephanie LeBay will get the first start in goal here for her in this 2020 Olympic qualifying match. Who else sticks out to you? You gotta talk about Jade Revere.
That's exactly who I was going to say. Jade Revere is an exciting young player, exactly. And, you know, she got her first goal. She has to gain confidence from that, you would think. And as she comes into this game, how else can she impact on the field, not just from a goal-scoring ability, but connectivity with the front line?
Some youngsters here, Jade Revere being one of them. Well, you just got to look at Jordan Heitema, the 19-year-old up top, was towering over everybody else, even Kadisha Buchanan. The height of Heitema is going to help them up top, but here's a look at the substitutes. Each squad having to have 20 players on it, 2 goalkeepers, and nice to have the all-time world record leader in international goals, Christine Sinclair, on your bench.
That is an absolute luxury to have her on the bench, and they have quite a few players there that can come into the game and impact at a high level.
Good look at Sydney Schneider. And now Stephanie Labe. And we're going to call her a green highlighter kit back there. Labe preps herself for this one. Currently playing for the North Carolina Courage. The Jamaican sideline looking on as Sydney Schneider wearing her pink kit gets prepped and ready. 5 saves for Schneider in the last game, and we're underway here in Edinburgh, Texas. Thanks for joining along for this second game of Group B play here between Jamaica in the black, green, and yellow kits, going from right to left, and Canada in the all-white kit. I'm Jordan Angeli alongside former U.S. Women's International Casey White. And Casey, you look at these two teams and the results that they had just a couple days ago as Canada tries to get in behind. What's key first for Canada in the start of this game?
I think they're looking for consistency. They had such a great performance in the first game. Obviously, the result stands out, but really just their interchange, their build-up, and you want to be able to do that across multiple games and with multiple people. So they're giving some other opportunities to players on their roster to make sure that they have that consistency.
It's a really good point, the consistency, and also showing the depth that this squad has. They make a number of changes here to the starting lineup. 5 changes on the field. The 6th one coming in, LeBay in net for Canada. Now when you look at Jamaica, a squad that has clearly proven that they can qualify for big tournaments after they qualified for the 2019 Women's World Cup. What's key for them in this match? Because this is the biggest match of their group play for them.
I think staying in the game as long as possible is very, very important. The longer you keep Canada from getting a rhythm, getting opportunities on frame, and potentially scoring a goal, the more confidence they feel. They've shown that they can qualify for a World Cup, and so they should have that confidence, but for this game alone, that can only help.
2 good points there from Casey White as Canada has been in their attacking half most of these first 2 minutes. Get a good look at Denicia Blackwood with the ball in her hands here. Plays left outside back. Played every minute of the game on Wednesday against Mexico, where Jamaica went down 1-0 in the first half. Weren't able to come back from that one. But Canada put their foot on the gas against St. Kitts and Nevis, scoring 11 goals. Well, it looks like they're trying to get one here. Rose into the attacking third, slips it through. Haidema can't get anything on frame. It's going to be our first corner kick of the match, going in favor of Canada.
Canada does well here as Rose gets in, and you can just see Haidema, her run goes in front of the near post, and really all she can really do is try to get in front of it and distract their defenders, and then it goes out there.
Allison Swaby on the defensive work there as you get a look. The intensity, and all these players know that this is an important moment. Becky sends it into the box. Buchanan meets it. And Ashley Lawrence, the 2019 Canadian Women's Soccer Player of the Year, keeps it alive. Far side, Buchanan still up. Trips up Swaby, but Swaby will have the last touch, and it's going to stay with Canada. Pretty nice target to have in the box, Kadisha Buchanan.
Absolutely. She varies her runs so often. Sometimes it's central, sometimes it's on the far post, but no matter what, she's a threat in the 18-yard box.
Chapman connects. Haidema can't get on the end of it. Deanne Rose getting her first start of this tournament. Slips in behind. Rose off her left foot. Nearly had a really good chance to put Canada up there early in this game.
This is great play right in front of the back line. Haidema does well to find the seam and just can't quite, in their run, be able to bring that down in those tight spaces.
Rose been with this Canadian full team for a few years now. Participated in the 2016 Olympics down in Brazil, did Deanne Rose, and was the youngest ever player to score in an Olympic game as a women's soccer player, doing it at the age of 17, now currently playing for the University of Florida down there in SEC country. As Becky finds her way down the end line. Sizing up her defender, wanted the Meg, but Shoshana Campbell's gonna have none of it. Becky slips in behind, has Haidema, but it's gonna go right to Schneider. Sydney Schneider, the Dayton, New Jersey native, born in Jamaica.
This is great play here, and Becky's able to get in, and I just would like to see Haidema get a little bit further into the middle of the 18-yard box. She's running past the near post, and you love to have a goal scorer like that right centrally.
I love that point because the near post run is important. But keep yourself alive is what Casey White is saying. Going back to Schneider, she was not born in Jamaica. Her mother was born in Jamaica, so she gets to play for the Jamaican women's national team, was a part of the 2019 World Cup squad for them. And here they go into the 18. Chinlu Asher was there, but it's not going to get to her. Little taste at the speed of Shayna Matthews on the far side.
Yeah, the dynamic duo of them up top is really going to keep Canada on their toes, and they're going to have to pay attention because in a split moment they can get in behind the back line. They've had most of the ball, but Jamaica's really able to take advantage of that space in behind.
Blackwood will go all the way over and take the corner kick. It'll be an in-swinger with her left boot. Towards the top of the box. Swaby heads it along, and here is their playmaker. Bunny Shaw gets tripped up there. Can't do much with her back to goal. Goes all the way over to Blackwood in a good pocket of space. But Canada throws numbers back defensively and is able to win this one back. Lawrence, what a dribble from her. Becky's stretching far left. Canada will have to restart here. Ashley Lawrence has really become a player that can play in so many different positions for Canada. That ball gets sent in. But what have you liked about Lawrence's game that you've seen in the last, let's say last year?
She's become more of an impact player, in my opinion. She's always been someone that could show up to games and be able to score goals, have assists, but she's more impactful. And what I mean by that is she can do that, and she can score goals. As you see Desiree Scott getting in on the tackle there. But she is now more involved in pulling the strings. I see her more as a midfielder that is on the ball in build-up and being able to set up other people as well.
We'll see if Lawrence has that ability here in this game as she receives the ball now. Spreads it, trying to bring Revere into the mix. The youngster keeps it in. Canada had multiple goal scorers in their 11-0 victory on Wednesday. Adriana Leon scoring 4 goals herself and getting 2 assists. As Heidema presses the ball, she also added a goal in that game there. Showing a little bit of the depth of this Canadian squad. Jade Revere right in front of her head coach, Kenneth Heiner-Moller. Heiner-Moller got named head coach back on January 8th, 2018. So really starting his 3rd year here with this Canada squad. He has so many good things to say about the player pool that he has the chance to pick from, saying that it was challenging to pick just 20 players. This ball goes all the way over. Janine Becky, far side, getting to the end line. What a good cross by Becky. She has options. She's just gonna try to power through, and it's gonna be Heidema in the end. If it doesn't work the first time, try again, and Heidema puts Canada up 1-0 here in the 10th minute. Some determination from Becky there, but it was Heidema in the end.
This is a great ball out to Becky, and the positive first touch to get across. And they really just work to keep it alive here. Like you said, multiple opportunities, some opportunistic bounces, and then a goal scorer finds a way to put it away, and Heidema does a great job there.
You gotta love that replay and how Heidema is just on her toes the whole time. One, trying to get the pass from Becky, but then as it gets deflected, look at her body shape open up and say, hey, if it comes to me, I'm gonna be prepped and ready. What you were just saying.
The best players come alive when everyone else is just watching in those moments, and you can tell that she is focused in there. Yes, she gets a bounce, but there's other players around. She is ready to be there and put it away.
Heidema, 7th overall goal for her as a Canadian international. Puts her team up early here against Jamaica. Rose drilling straight at the back line, can't thread through Becky. Be picked up by Jamaica. There has to be a balance from Jamaica because that ball in, of course, you're gonna always look for Bunny Shaw. But can they use Bunny Shaw as a way to maybe see if anything else can open up? How would you like to see them attack in that kind of way?
I think so, of course. You know, there is speed in the Canadian back line, so it can't be an errant ball that just looks to go in there. She is a force. She can hold the ball up. So anytime you play her, people are going to be drawn to her. So that means other players are going to be open. So I'd love to see them find her feet and allow players to come defend her so they can build into the game more.
Khadija Bunny Shaw playing currently over in France for Bordeaux. Currently tied for 4th in the most goals in the French league with 9. So you take a good look at Sophie Schmidt, the longtime Canadian international, 193 caps now for Schmidt. The amount of miles she must have run
No
in the
kidding.
midfield makes me tired just thinking about it. Schmidt disrupts that one. Revere goes all the way back, and Canada will restart. Alicia, excuse me. Chapman, a graduate from LSU, currently playing in NWSL. Haven't seen much of her on the left side yet. She's a player that wants to get forward, join the attack. There she goes. Overlapping Becky. Here's Chapman. Defended by Matthews. But Lawrence ends up scooping it up. Matthews all the way back to do the defensive work for Jamaica. Bonflaza sends it out of bounds.
It's opportunistic by Chapman to be able to make that run forward, to get around Becky, and you can see her pressuring, and it allows Canada to press higher, win the ball back higher up the field.
Here they are already in their attacking half, have every player in their outfield in the half there before they played all the way back to Labe. But that's that kind of high pressure you were just talking about. Something that coach Kenneth Heiner-Mueller told us before the tournament is he wants them to be a team who wins the ball back higher on the field, but then use their work in the attacking third and execute a little bit better. It's not as if they're not getting the chances. As Janine Becky goes down there, that was an awkward fall.
Swaby did very well there. Becky came off that back shoulder, and she just was able to step in front there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. It didn't look great, but Swaby did really good defensively to get her body in the way.
Swaby, one of those experienced backline players for Jamaica. Played in all 3 of the World Cup games for them in 2019. As the Jamaican Reggae girls made history qualifying for the first ever Women's World Cup, the first ever Caribbean team to qualify for the World Cup. Revere cuts inside, skirts around her first defender. Now Becky's off to the races. All the way on the near side now is Becky, curls it in! You've got to be kidding me, Janine Becky, what a ball! Rose just runs it in the net.
That's an absolutely amazing ball right there. It's textbook. You want that ball to be played behind the back line where the defenders are running towards their own goal and they want no part of it. And that's exactly what Becky did there. Great positive first touch, and she whips this ball in right behind the back line. And Rose has a great run on the back post to put it away any way she can.
It counts the same. If it goes off your shoe, your hip, your head,
100%.
whatever.
I mean, This is just such a great ball. I love this, and I love Haidema. She goes across that near post. She did delay it a little bit more to where she had a chance on frame, and if she missed, Rose was there to be able to put it in the back of the net.
All smiles for Canada as Deanne Rose puts the second goal away for Heiner Mueller's side here in the 16th minute. You kind of had a feeling when Becky built up that steam that she was going to do something dangerous.
She has those fresh legs coming in, and she's someone who is extremely dangerous in her own right. And then to be able to come in, not having played in that first game, and looking to make an impact there, you can tell. And what I love from Canada is their organization in the box on those first 2 goals. Kenneth Heiner-Mueller talked about they have to be better in the final third, and that's a big part of it.
Rose pressing the back line again. Won't get there in time. That was one of the things when they're talking about, there's so much hype before this tournament about Canada because Christine Sinclair set to break the world record of international goals. She did it against St. Kitts and Nevis on Wednesday, so that's out of there. But when we're talking about the goal scorers on this team beforehand. Who are the secondary scorers? Well, Janine Becky is their biggest secondary scorer. 27 goals for her, but her ability to assist, and as you said, yes, she's dangerous in her own right, but her willingness to do the dirty work and provide other players the opportunity to score, like Rose. It's exactly what Heiner Moeller is looking for. Here's Rose to Schmidt. Havana Salon, our first real look at her today.
What we've seen so far from Canada has been that the decision making is very good. So yes, there are goal scorers on the team, many of them, but they're making the right decisions. The goal scorers aren't just looking to score goals. If a pass is warranted, they're doing it. So their build-up has been very good. Their decision making has also been very good throughout this tournament.
Let's look at the Jamaican head coach, Hubert Busby, promoted to head coach just recently, was a goalkeeper and assistant coach there in the 2019 World Cup squad. So the player's familiar with him. Asher gets pushed down by Rose. Chinlu Asher. So you look at the goal scorer, Deanne Rose, getting the most recent one. Asher's a player that I feel like can be very impactful for Jamaica when they start to get her in the rhythm.
Well, Jamaica has a 4 versus 3 there in the midfield, but they haven't really been able to take advantage of it because Deanne Rose is coming back defensively very well. Her positioning is great to where they really haven't been able to take advantage of the numbers up in that situation. But if they can, I think Chinlu Asher can get more involved.
She's not going to keep the ball inbounds there. Revere. Haidema tries to keep it, but it's going to be Kanya Plummer, the first Jamaican-born player to be drafted in the NWSL draft just a couple weeks ago. 10th overall, going to Orlando Pride. Had a chance to speak with her right after that, and she was all smiles, so excited about the opportunity. Plummer, a member of Central Florida team for years. Here's Becky again, cross, Haidema. You said opportunistic, and a lot of players wouldn't think that ball was gonna make it through the mix, and Haidema was nearly ready to pounce.
As a top goal scorer, you have to be so optimistic in the box, and you have to be thinking, you know, this is coming to me, they're looking to find me, and she does right there. I know she probably wishes she could get that on frame, but does very well to make sure to get to that first.
High pressure from Canada makes it hard for Jamaica to get out here. So we're inching towards the midway point here in the first half. It's been all Canada. The goal by Haidema in the 10th, the goal by Rose in the 16th. The difference right now, I'm Jordan Angeli alongside Casey White. We're going to be with you for every Canada game here in group play for the Concacaf Women's Olympic Qualifiers. And Canada can't slip that one through, and it's well defended in the end by Jamaica. Good passing here. Havana Salon skirts away from a little bit of pressure. Brings in Asher. How many times have you seen that, though? Desiree Scott just stepping up to make a big tackle.
She destroys everything in midfield that's around her. She comes in and wins important tackles. And when you have Ashley Lawrence and Sophie Schmidt there, they're usually able to be composed and clean up that second pass, and it's important for that midfield group.
Becky now on the left again. Ball well out of her reach. Go all the way back to Allison Swaby. Swaby played at Boston College, now playing for Roma in the Italian league. Buchanan taking up some space into the midfield. Buchanan and Zadorsky have solidified their spots at center back for Canada as Lawrence gets taken out there. by Bonflaza. It's a little pat on the back, a little apology maybe there.
It's a really good ball in, and just timed a little bit off from the tackle, but the aggressiveness of them in midfield to step to Canada is really important, because if they allow them to set play really in the midfield, it's going to be a long day for them. So they have to be able to step up their line and try to win possession.
Look at your world record holder, Christine Sinclair, 185 international goals. The best to ever do it, and the humblest. Is that a word, humblest?
I don't know about
Most
that.
humble.
Yeah.
I'll go
We'll
with
take
most
it.
humble.
Either way.
After the game, the reporter on site for Concacaf said, you're trending right now, Christine Sinclair. And she said, oh, gosh. No, my least favorite thing. That's just who she is. She's so humble. She really has shown that no matter what, you can find a way to be successful. Leading Canada so many years, and as a youngster, just doing it with grit and determination, putting the country on her shoulders, and now she can say it. She's the greatest to ever do it.
There's so much that's impressive about Christine Sinclair, but the fact that she's done it at all ages is pretty unbelievable.
I think she's going to slow down at some point, and then she just keeps scoring goals. Becky has a lot of space. Look, yeah, she's going to take it. Rose following up. She kind of pump faked there. Thought Becky was going to take it, but she wasn't. She ended up taking it. Asher looking for Shaw.
Yeah, I think that the 4v3 in midfield, if they get the speed of play going properly, they can then spring Khadijah Shaw. Shalina Sadorski did a great job of dropping off there, which made it still very difficult, but they're starting to connect a few more passes in there.
But it really looked like it was going to speak to your earlier point of just playing Shaw's feet. As Zadorski drops off, her feet are an option there. If Shaw and Asher want to just connect through the midfield.
There's enough speed around Shaw that she could get that ball to her feet, especially as Zadorski was 2 yards off of her. They know that she is a threat in behind, so Jamaica has to recognize that and be able to play to her feet there.
Out of the reach of Jade Revere. Had her first goal as a full-team international on Wednesday, and man, was it a beauty. She won't forget that one.
That got both of us excited.
Oh my
That was a great
gosh.
strike.
Still dreaming of it. Lawrence, double teamed. She'll spin out. Great ball in for Chapman. Runners in the box. Rose skips past her. From distance, Revere is going to get this one on frame.
What's making Canada so successful is that they're getting more than one opportunity. So Alicia Chapman's going forward. She's able to get a cross off. They get the second ball. And you have a player like Sophie Schmidt who decides to keep possession. And I don't blame Revere for trying that. She hit a great one a few days ago. But they are getting 2 and 3 chances, which is great for them.
Feeling confident after that last strike she had. Rose tracks back. It's Blackwood dribbling it from coast to coast. Ends up losing it in her attacking third. But Asher is there to help her. Little taste of the speed of Denicia Blackwood. Kingston, Jamaica native. Playing right now in the Czech Republic for Slavia Praha. Some international experience on this Jamaican squad. And some experience in the U.S. As Plummer heads the ball across her line, finding another player who played in the U.S. Dominique Blanc-Flaza played at the University of Washington. She's going to have to defend here. Chapman steaming forward. Chapman has Heidema, but Plummer will take care of it. Good smooth touches by Lawrence. The give and go didn't quite come off, but Canada starting to feel a little bit of rhythm. Jamaica unable to get really much possession or even knock Canada right now off of this momentum they've been building.
I'd like to see that combination of Asher and Blackwood more often, but in order to spring Blackwood forward, they have to connect 2 or 3 passes in that midfield area, and Canada brings in Becky and Rose very centrally, so they have to connect those quickly and then find those wide spaces, and you can see Jamaica's threatening when they can get into the wide areas.
And they like to get in the wide areas because then hopefully you have Khadijah Shaw centrally. Pretty decent target. Shaw in her 28 appearances with Jamaica has 40 goals. She fouls Ashley Lawrence there. She's gonna get a yellow card for that. Looked like she kind of slipped here. Her foot got on top of the ball and rolled straight on top of it. Ooh.
With her cleat up, I'm sure it was a little bit dangerous, but it did look like she lost a little bit of control, may have slipped a little bit on that, of course, and definitely came through Ashley Lawrence on that one.
I hope Ashley Lawrence is okay after that one. So you look at Busby talking to his team. Chinlu Asher on his left, Khadijah Shaw on his right. Lawrence is still down, getting some medical attention here from her trainers. She looked like she was in a bit of pain after that collision. This is a good sign. She's up. The crowd in Edinburgh, Texas gives her a little clap there. What do you think Shaw is saying to Shaw right now? Excuse me, Busby saying to Shaw.
Hopefully he wants to get her on the ball a little bit more, so helping her with maybe checking into space and finding that ball off the center backs. When you have Shayna Matthews to the side of you, she can be threatening in behind as well. So like I said earlier, I think to draw that attention, she needs to come back to the ball.
Gotta ask you, Casey, just what you think in those situations. You were a coach. You know what it's like to be on that side, and a player, what it's like to be on the other side. That's why you're our expert here. About 15 minutes left in this first 45. Canada, should be noted, playing a little bit of a different formation than they played on Wednesday night.
Yes, they've gone into this 4-3-3, and it just changes the roles and responsibilities a little bit more. The way they set play, the spaces to take advantage of. You have Revere further back, but still able to go forward at times, and you know, just the way you build up really changes with that formation.
Buchanan opening up the field all the way to Becky. Going straight at the back line, it skips. Dangerous shot there. In the end, Schneider falls to cover it. Okay, Buchanan. Not a bad ball from her.
That's a great ball. You need that every now and then. They've done really well to stay tidy and play shorter balls. But here you go. There's Shaw right there on the ball, and it does draw players. You can see Khadijah Buchanan coming out. Got the foul, but now you're making her defend in a different space than she was having to earlier.
Yeah, this is really the first, we missed the first touch there, but off of a free kick, 60 yards away, Shaw just takes it at the inside of her foot and juggles. Matthews flicks it on, tries to get enough pressure on Zadorsky. Well, it's good enough to let her team keep possession here. Can Jamaica build something up? And they're attacking half now. Matthews. It's poked away, and they're going to get a chance here at a corner kick. The first for Jamaica here. in this match. Good targets in the box. Kanya Plummer, Chantel Swaby, Bunny Shaw. Let's get a look at Stephanie Labe. Post responsibilities there for Revere. The corner from Blackwood might cause a counterattack. See how there's no one up the field though from Canada. Maybe lucky there for Jamaica. Bonflaza. Now Plummer looking downfield. Gets tripped up. Who's the foul on? Oh, it's gonna be on Allison Swaby. Swaby getting a little too much of Ashley Lawrence. Lawrence has been in, I feel like, so many tackles.
It's been a combative day for her. You know, Swaby's just looking to get in behind here, and really they get tripped up. I mean, you've got to call it, but it would be too dangerous if she was able to get in there. But it looks like a great run going in behind there by Swaby.
Looked like she just flat tired her, huh?
Absolutely.
Stepped on her heel. Whoopsies. Swaby might have had a step on Lawrence. She's probably more mad at herself about that. Zadorsky from London, Ontario, playing in her 61st cap. Sitting next to Kadisha Buchanan, also Ontario native, but from Brampton. Those two just 28 and 25 respectively. Fairly young back line for Canada. I say fairly young because Chapman evens it out. She's 31, brings some experience. And I'm not calling 31 old.
I hope
Just
not.
doing it.
I hope not.
Becky wins it back.
Jamaica's done well here to try to gain some field position, really by stepping a little bit higher up the field and forcing them to play balls in behind, and they're able to at least win possession. Now it's just what can they do with that when they do win the ball, and can they build numbers forward?
LeBay currently playing for the North Carolina Courage. Had a little stint in Sweden, had a little stint with a men's team up in Canada. She's done it all, really. Training wherever she can. Speaking openly about what she's been through as an athlete. Good to see LeBay in net today. 68th cap for her all time. Couple of World Cups under her belt. Canada's had such great goalkeepers over the years. Karina LeBlanc, Erin McLeod.
They really have. I mean, that's been a position that's always had a leader in it and always had someone that's performed at the highest level. And LaBay and Sheridan from the other day, they both have done extremely well here in this tournament.
Bonflaza with a tough tackle. She's going to get called for it. And it's a good close-up of Heiner Moeller. Third season here, but he's coached with the national team for a while.
Yeah, he definitely has, you know, brought some new things to Canada, and I think he's done really well to ensure that they have a progressive style of play from what they've had in years past, and they're continuing to grow.
Each time a girl joins football, the world takes a stride towards equality. If you empower a girl, you empower a community to fight for their dreams. Concacaf W. We belong. Becky's going to be on the ball here. Into the box. It skips all the way through without being touched. Wow.
You'd like to see a little bit more organization there with players running diagonally through. I mean, didn't really look like Canada was ready to execute that set piece.
Which is funny because there was so much time in preparation for it. Plummer misses the tackle. It'll be Lawrence. Good feet from her, Ashley Lawrence. That's a good look at goal.
There's not as much natural width from Canada in this game. I'd like to see when Ashley Lawrence gets that ball, Alicia Chapman coming up from behind, because once Becky decides to come inside, they really need to reestablish their width so they can pull Jamaica out.
Schmidt fouls Blackwood. Canada look like these last few minutes, maybe losing a little bit of their dominance that they had there in the first part of the half. Busby motioning on his team. We'll see if Plummer can put this in a dangerous spot. Matthews challenges off the midsection of Becky. I heard shouts for handball, but nothing convincing there. Plummer keeps it alive. Shaw with a through run. Shaw chops it back, brings it onto her right foot, looking for goal. Well blocked in the end by Buchanan. Those two probably have had a few battles in France against each other. That goes well wide.
The success, again, is happening in that wide area. I mean, they do well to deal with the clearance out and keep it in the attacking half, Jamaica does, and Blackwood finding Khadijah Shaw in any area around the 18-yard box is going to be dangerous for them.
This is the first time we really got to see Shaw and what she can do and how strong she is on the ball, just outpowering her defender, looking for a half a yard. Well defended in the end by Buchanan, but she's dangerous. Heiner Mueller got asked about her before. He said this Jamaican team is not just a one-headed monster, though. They have a few different players that can beat you. They have Ivana Salon and Trudy Carter, to name a few.
There was a lot of respect in the way Khadijah Buchanan defended her. She actually let her face up pretty close to goal, but she's such a strong presence up top that you don't want to get bodied up with her, no matter how strong Khadijah Buchanan is and what a great defender. That's a difficult thing to handle, and she stood her up and then exhibited a lot of patience there.
Interesting point, because Shaw does like to post up, right? She can spin you on a dime. Asher's touch not on a dime, and she gives it away to LeBay. About 5 minutes left in this first 45. Canada's goals came in the 10th and the 16th minute from Heidema and then Rose. The difference here, as Schmidt, the most capped player on the squad, out there at the moment, gets on the ball and starts to reestablish how Canada wants to play. Buchanan, that's her center back, dribbling behind her foot to keep the ball alive. Good skill here. Rose, watch out, speed here. Shaw makes the most of this one. Here she comes, Bunny Shaw. Did she get tripped up there?
It looked pretty close, but at least they've kept possession here.
Salon from distance.
Shaw just draws a crowd. I mean, anytime she gets the ball, they're committing 1, 2, 3 players a lot of the times to go around her. So it's going to be difficult to find that player off of her, but if Jamaica can, they're going to have success like you saw with that shot there.
Yeah, not only drawing players, but I was still talking about Shaw when Salon had a shot on goal. Off goal, over goal. But still, that's how much attention she draws. This might be a good look. Maybe they're thinking about switching Shaw into a little bit deeper of a role. Solon doing all of the hard work here. But Revere trotting into the attacking third. Rose to the top of the box, cleared away. Those are the balls that Canada's doing a good job of picking up. Even if their first attack doesn't work, they're going time and time again, tiring out Jamaica. Chapman touches it past her defender, Heidema. Sophie Schmidt wants the third goal. What a save, Schneider. Off the backside of her teammate, Blackwood. For Jamaica, so crucial that they try to keep this game just 2 goals. You mentioned it, stay in the game early on was one of your keys for Jamaica, Casey.
Yes, it's so close to halftime. They're going to want to go into half, you know, if not getting a goal back, at least keeping it at this score to make sure they can regroup and come out for the second half.
Becky. Now Lawrence, 3 runners in the box. Rose. Smart little run there from Rose.
Yes, it definitely was. And now they're starting to find the wide spaces a little bit more. You see Alicia Chapman here. A little creativity from Heidema. It just didn't quite come off. But what they're doing so well, and that's a great shot from Sophie Schmidt and a great save from Schneider here to keep them alive. But, you know, the organization from Canada after these kind of opportunities from Sophie Schmidt is what's giving them more opportunities on frame and making it hard for Jamaica.
It's attack after attack after attack for Canada. Schneider doing a good job of keeping the scoreline just at 2 right now. Still within reach. Ooh. Plummer taking out her player more. There's wide open space for Becky. Good ball by Heidema. Janine Becky puts the third in the back of the net. This Canadian team is just that, a team playing together, spreading around the wealth.
That's an absolutely class goal from Canada right there. They take advantage of a mishap, but they do it in very minimal passes to get Heidema in, and then a perfect ball slotted across for Becky, and what a classy finish right at the end.
Becky, your 28th international goal, the 3rd for Jamaica tonight, and look at Heidema.
Yeah, this is a great ball across. Everything's in one touch except that finish, but she takes a perfect touch to set it up, pull Schneider out, and then just lifts it outside of the right foot. I just love everything about that goal and that finish.
Woo! Little scoop. Janine Becky, the Colorado native, putting Canada up there.
It's great for Canada. You're getting another person on the scoreboard in this game. The more players that are scoring, the more confident players you have, which just allows you to continue to attack by committee, and you never know where they're going to be able to attack from and who's going to put a point on the board.
8th goal scorer of this tournament so far for Canada. Yeah. They have a few players that can put the ball away. Becky wanted to. She's not going to get it. We've just entered into our 1 minute of stoppage time here after the first half.
What was so critical about that goal that I loved and that some people might not really notice was that first ball by Ashley Lawrence. Just one touch to spring Heidema. That's so undervalued of how that was set up because Jamaica was out of shape and they were able to take advantage there.
Lawrence should get a 2nd assist on that one. We're petitioning.
Of course she should.
Right?
That'd
We're
be great.
You're a center midfielder. You probably had tons of
Loved those second assists. Loved them.
That's going to be the end of this 45. Quick thought on the first half of this one, Casey.
Canada's come out and done what they've needed to do. They've taken advantage of their opportunities, even though Jamaica's made it hard for them. I'd like to see Jamaica get a little bit more possession in that midfield third as they go into the second half.
Havana Salon, maybe one of those players that they're looking to help in possession, as is Chinlu Asher. Well, they're down 3 goals here. Is Jamaica to Canada after 45 minutes. We will be back just after this for highlights and stats from the first half between Jamaica and Canada.
My bad, when it's time for a refreshment break, head over to the concession stand for an ice-cold frozen cola. It's the perfect refreshment for fans thirsty for cheering on your team. Enjoy frozen cola. When determination turns into gold, it proves it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Momentum, root for gold with a fighting spirit, and we're proud to be the official partner of the official wear of the beautiful game. Follow all the action across the region on social media and Concacaf.com. At Concacaf, we are bringing children closer to football. Concacaf Next Play inspires the next generation to learn social values and life skills. Concacaf, love for our game. The game of football is universal, and every girl and woman deserves an opportunity to play football and follow her dreams. Concacaf W, we belong. At Socialite, we are fans of women's sports. Socialite, proud sponsor of Concacaf and the Women's Olympic Qualifiers. En Socialite somos aficionados del deporte femenino. Socialite, orgulloso patrocinador del Concacaf y del Campeonato Olímpico Femenino de Concacaf. Fair play and mutual respect are fundamental to football. Discriminatory behavior is not permitted. We ask that you uphold principles of fair play and take part in football with a spirit of unity, respect, and equality.
Cuide quizás puedo hacer que llore. De ojalá pudiera lo logré. De patria bonita a luchar. Los entrenadores cambiaron su sistema de los Sims. Los reporteros cambiaron su a ver si lo logran rompieron otro récord. De fútbol femenino cada 90 minutos lo mismo.
Welcome back. Halftime here between Canada and Jamaica at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. Second match day for both of those squads here in Group B play of the Concacaf Women's Olympic Qualifiers. And it didn't take long for Canada to show that they were ready to attack early. Rose here trying to find Haidama.
This would be a sign of things to come. Rose getting into the wide spaces. All three of the front runners were very effective today. As you can see, a ball in to Becky here with a positive first touch. And they just keep things alive here. Really opportunistic, battling, and Haidama finds herself in the right spot and a cool, calm finish.
Becky, a big part of all three goals. Probably won't get an assist from that one. But Haidama, the goal scorer, puts it away. And the next goal, well, Becky was a big part of the next goal. She went from left to right to left to right. As Haidama celebrates there, and Janine Becky would just cruise down the sideline here.
Again, just another positive touch, and I love everything about this ball. She plays it right behind that back line with pace, and Rose is able just to get a touch on it because of so much pace on the ball from Becky and able to put it away for Canada. But that run by Haidama on the front post, I love. She draws a defender. She takes up, a lot of concentration for Jamaica, and Rose is able to finish it.
Just cleaning up the scraps is Rose, making sure the ball goes in. Come here, Haidama, give me a hug. Then for Canada, they would have many more opportunities here in the first half. Dominated a lot of the play. Ashley Lawrence has been instrumental to the way that they're playing.
She really has. She's been able to be on the ball a lot more today. And here you see Khadijah Shaw. This was the time they were able to get her into that wide space area. And Khadijah Buchanan does a good job on her here. And they're able to get a shot off, but nothing really to test Labe. Alicia Chapman did well as the game went on to get forward. And again, you see Heidema just staying in front, being a nuisance, and Sophie Schmidt gets a great opportunity on frame, but Schneider's able to keep it out of the net.
Good work by Blackman just to give an assist to the save there. Here's the last goal.
This is a great touch by Becky. I mean, what a great, calm, sophisticated finish by her. And this was done in attacking transition. They find Heidemann behind, one touch ball across, and then she just finds a way to chip it right over the keeper.
3 goals for Canada in the first 45 minutes. A lot of the possession. Jamaica unable to really include their big sun is setting here in Edinburgh, Texas, as the teams come back out for the second 45. Jamaica on your left, Canada on your right. 3-goal difference here for Canada in the first half. I'm Jordan Angeli alongside former U.S. women's professional Casey White. And Casey, you're coming into this second half. If you're Jamaica, how are you going to find the back of the net? Jamaica yet to ever score in Concacaf Women's Olympic Qualifiers. Is today that they can find a chance on goal?
If they can figure out the speed of play and connecting those passes a little bit quicker, Canada's really suffocating defensively. I believe they can get more numbers forward. If they don't do that, it's going to be really difficult for them. But you've got to also look to the set pieces. If they can create some set pieces, some corner kicks, they have to be super organized and try to take advantage of those as well.
On set pieces, Jamaica has some good targets. The best being Bunny Shaw, but they've got Shayna Matthews, Chantel Swaby, Kanya Plummer, all available to go up and provide some of their height and size to try to figure out a way. That would be history. Jamaica's first ever Concacaf Women's Olympic qualifying goal. Of course, Jamaica had no problem scoring in the Concacaf Women's Championship back in 2018, where they qualified by winning the third place match to go to the 2019 Women's World Cup in France. So this Jamaican squad already made history once before. They're eager to do it again. No Caribbean team has qualified for the Olympics.
Canada, let's go, relay. Get the cones out.
Jamaica's ready to go. Canada still getting some last-minute preparation there on the far side. It looks like we're going to get a substitution coming into the second half. And it's going to be McCoy, Kayla McCoy from Skokie, Illinois. Got her first real significant minutes after coming back from an ACL injury. Get this, she made the Jamaican squad to go to the World Cup. Days before they left, tore ACL. How devastating that it must have been for McCoy, but she's back now competing at this international level and seeing if she can be that difference maker here in the second half.
You don't wish anything like that on any player, but it can provide a perspective for a player, and I'm really anxious to see how she does as she comes back and she's able to come in and contribute for Jamaica, because she is dynamic.
Jamaica gets us underway here in the second 45 minutes. The last part of Group B play here to get today in Edinburgh, Texas. I'm Jordan Angeli. That's Casey White. We are with you for all of Canada's matches here in the Concacaf Women's Olympic Qualifiers. Jamaica makes some changes. They bring in McCoy. It looks like Bonflaza might be playing her a little bit more traditional outside back position, which she played at Washington in college.
Yes, it's a seamless switch for her, and just they're going to have to get forward anyways. They're looking to score goals, so she can do a little bit of a dual role there for Jamaica.
Alicia Chapman, Cordis, Ontario. It's where she was born and raised. Played 4 games in the 2019 Women's World Cup for Canada. A disappointing World Cup for them. They were knocked out in the round of 16, something that stung and something that Christine Sinclair and Coach Kenneth Heiner-Mueller said, we've been waiting to have a tournament with meaning, to go in and kind of right the wrongs and feel like we can really compete again after that World Cup loss.
It was extremely disappointing for Canada, but for them, how lucky is it that the Olympics come very quickly? You know, it stings and it hurts, and you don't want that to happen, but at least right away they can regroup, recover, and they have something to shoot for now with the Olympic qualifying.
2 teams from each group go through to the semifinals in LA, and if you make it to the final, you qualify for 2020 Tokyo. Jamaica with some work to do. They'll play it to Matthews, defended well by Chapman.
That's great by Swaby to step up and keep them. They need to keep them locked into their defensive half. You've got Khadijah Shaw going back into midfield, and now we have more players for Jamaica running forward.
Swaby with some extra pressure there, but this is the ball that just beats all two lines of defenders for Jamaica. So as you said, that first line of pressure, but looks like there's some holes in the midfield that Jamaica might need to fill as well.
Yeah, the coordination in their press has to be really focused on. Swaby does very good to have that initial pressure, but it has to come in waves and it has to be coordinated to make sure that Canada doesn't have an opportunity to play out, because they have the players to be able to find spaces.
McCoy with her first touches here. We'll keep it in favor of the Reggae girls. I'm digging the Jamaica kits. What do you like them?
Oh, I really like them. Yes, they're great.
Something different.
It is.
Trying to work down the right side is Jamaica. Matthews initially pressures, but then backs off. With McCoy going in, maybe a different look even up top for Jamaica.
I like this move by Busby. Khadijah Shaw can be more involved in the play. It has her facing forward more, which she's extremely dangerous once she gets pace and gets going at players. And you have McCoy, who's also dangerous in that final third and up top. And she does well to hold the ball there. Unfortunately, the pass goes out of bounds. But this tactical switch might allow Jamaica to get a little bit more pressure on the Canadian midfield and retain the ball.
Heiner Mueller looking on. Here comes Jamaica. Matthews can't connect there, but it will be interesting to see how Jamaica uses these adjustments after having some time at half to listen to their head coach, Hubert Busby. Ball goes far post. Rose rises up, but it's well over her head. Deanne Rose had the second goal of the game off her hip, belly button. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it counted.
Doesn't matter, I guess, right?
Doesn't
It went over the white line.
That was Rose's 9th international goal for Canada. Shaw wins the first ball. Lawrence can't connect with Rose. Slower pace to start here for the second 45. Canada came out hot in the first half. Didn't score until the 10th minute, but they were in sole possession of the ball. Here's Becky in behind. Janine Becky going for two. Her second of the game, Janine Becky. Slotting it past Schneider.
She makes the most of a great bounce there, and as she was going in there, it looked like Kanya Plummer just pulled up a little bit as she was sprinting after her, but Becky does great to get this ball, be able to take an aggressive first touch, to have the defenders behind her, and just slots it away. You can see here, she just plays it with that left foot, and Kanya Plummer had to pull up, and she wasn't able to commit into that tackle. And just a great job to find the side netting.
A goal with her right, a goal with her left. Janine Becky scoring every which way here. Big smile on her face. 26-year-old. 29 goals overall for her as a member of the Canadian women's national team. She debuted back in November of 2014 versus Sweden. And there's what you were talking about. Kanya Plummer still on the ground after trying to get back on defense there, and it did look a little awkward, right?
It did. That's unfortunate because she's had a good day so far. She's done well in that back line, and you hate to see any player pull up from some sort of apparent injury.
Plummer visibly upset, and rightfully so. These games are so meaningful to these players on a number of levels. Plummer has captained this squad many a times. She's a great leader. Someone that they look up to. She played every minute for this squad, 2019 Women's World Cup, and she's going to be replaced here by Tierney Wiltshire. Wiltshire, native of Elmer, New Jersey, currently plays right now at Rutgers. Debuted just back in September 30th, debut for Wiltshire, so we'll see how she can come in and help out this Jamaican squad here, eager to try to just pull one goal at a time back.
If you're Jamaica, you have to be a little disappointed with giving up that goal so quickly, because really it was against the run of what was happening for the first 5 minutes of the start of the second half. They were starting to be more disruptive to Canada. Canada hasn't established a rhythm in the second half, so unfortunate to give up that goal here.
How hard is it to just refocus and think about the things that are going right for you if you were Jamaica?
It can be difficult. I think it depends on the player. You know, it's a personal challenge, but they have to have really established goals, which Busby hopefully has set for them, where they can go, okay, what are we going to gain out of this? How do we get back into this game? Because there's no other choice right now. They need to get goals. They need to be able to go forward.
No other choice. Who is going to make it happen? McCoy hunts this one down from Zadorsky. Becky inside now. Be interesting to see which area of the field Becky hasn't painted with her work ethic. Here goes Lawrence. Trying to get past Swaby. Rose, it goes up. Heidema tries the volley. There's Wiltshire's first touches to just clear the ball of danger. Buchanan so comfortable on the ball. Given the space, she'll take it up. Revere. Down the right side to Rose. Runners in the box. Swaby defends her well initially, but Rose pushes it by. Here's Heidema with some height. Jordan Heidema. What a big time goal for her.
She scores in so many different ways. I mean, for a young player to have those different types of goals in her repertoire is pretty amazing. And you see Rose going in line, and just the composure she showed to not just cross the ball, but really to look for the right opportunity to go to goal. I thought it was very, very high level here. And Heidema, you can see her wanting the ball, and she just soars above and is able to put that into the back of the net.
Heidema uses all 5'9" of her frame here. Just punches it home.
You could even see Ashley Lawrence there going, hey, if that skips through, I'm here. I've got you. And that's great organization in the box, because it's not just one opportunity, but there's a potential for two.
I love that. Janine Becky grabbing her head. The golden head right there. What a good target for Canada to have in the box. Just 19 years old. Heidema has so much to look forward to. If you're Canada, you're excited that she's on your team. Currently playing for PSG in France. Here's Lawrence, heavy touch. Maybe the right idea, just couldn't execute.
I like the confidence behind the touch. It was just a little bit heavy there, but she's looking to go forward.
You asked Jordan Heidema to get herself in front of frame a little bit more, not pull herself too far past the near post. That's why.
Coaches want goal scorers to be in front of goal. So for a young player, eager on the international level, going past the near post, probably normal. But someone like her that has her goal scoring ability, you want right there in the center, and she was able to do that. And what I loved is she started that entire play by checking off the back line, continued her run in, and it was really a veteran run to be able to do that after building up play.
Speak of veterans, Shaw holds this one up for Jamaica. Salon with a nice spin turn. Wiltshire. loses it centrally, and it's the work back from Lawrence. Just picks the play apart for Jamaica. Probably helpful for Heidema too that she gets to train day in, day out when she's with the Canadian team with the best goal scorer of all time. I'd take that. Schmidt gets taken out from behind. We'll see if Matthews here gets a talking to after that. Shayna Matthews currently playing with the Washington Spirit.
Yeah, she just clips her a little bit there. I mean, Sophie Schmidt has complete position, and she's taking off to transition.
Good foul?
I don't mind that foul. I don't mind that foul. Canada's been good going forward in a counterattack, so at least it lets them get their defensive shape and be able to set up.
McCoy initiates the press. She wants her teammates to join her. Maybe a step behind for Jamaica. Will they make up for it? Here's Chinlu Asher. All started by McCoy here. Bonflaza. She thought Matthews zagged and she zigged. No connection there.
What I like is that Jamaica is looking to press. I do think that's going to make them more successful, at least in the beginning until Canada tries to find another way to attack, but they have to do it together. And you see when they did finally, it was the third or fourth person pressing that was able to win possession and keep it higher up the field.
Trying again, and that might just be a poor pass from Canada, but you're absolutely right. Gotta make Canada feel uncomfortable. Buchanan can't save that one. Lave organizes. She even matches her pre-wrap with her jersey. That's a good
Preparation.
Look. Good look. And that goes over the end line. Good look at Kayla McCoy. Has added a spark since she came in.
Oh, she's definitely bouncing around. She's talking to her teammates. She's come in with, I'm sure, information from her head coach of how they can attack going forward.
Becky reading this one correctly, but the recovery speed from Blackwood is too much. Oh, nice feet there. Schmidt getting out of danger. Zadorsky. Sash Schmidt's footwork says, I'll raise you a little bit. It's gonna go all the way across the byline, off of Schwabe. It's gonna be a corner kick here for Canada in the 61st minute. Canada has 5 goals, 2 coming from Heidema, 2 coming from Becky, and 1 from that player, Rose. Buchanan, you know her arm is always up when it comes to corner kicks. Becky sends us in. Buchanan's flying in there. But Jamaica gets out of that one. What a good run from Becky. Oh, and an even better first touch. Becky to Heidema. It's a hat trick for Heidema. There it is. Heidema set in Becky earlier with an easy pass. Then Becky returning the favor.
I mean, Becky makes that first touch look so incredibly easy. I mean, what a great ball behind, well-timed run. And this first touch is just amazing. And she draws players in and really allows Heidema to get numbers forward and be able to finish it off.
I actually don't think you could have a more perfect first touch than that.
I don't think it's possible. It was the right distance, it was soft, it was right in her stride, it was across her body where the defender could not recover, and they have speed in their back line, and they weren't able to because of her first touch.
Janine Becky adding a second assist to her 2 goals that she has today, and we're gonna see Desiree Scott take a seat here. We saw these two sub in the opposite way earlier. Julia Grosso coming in. The first game, Grosso started and Scott came in for her. Grosso from Vancouver, playing collegiately at the University of Texas, and then Alicia Chapman getting replaced by Gabby Carl, who played all 90 minutes. That shot right off of the kickoff goes into the hands of Labe. One thing that Carl did in that first game for Canada is she was not scared to get forward as she starts that dribble right there.
Yeah, hopefully that's something that we see in this final 27 minutes. She's at that left back position, but I'd like to see her continue to play with, no worries, the ability to go forward and really make Jamaica defend.
17 caps here for Gabby Carl. This is going to end up taking the throw in off of Becky. Carl from Quebec. Speaks French, English, Spanish. That's a good resource to have.
I am so jealous of
Me
that.
too. But also thinking about all the teams in Concacaf, you can hear what they're trying to do no matter what team you're playing.
You're right, you could.
She's a spy and she didn't even know it.
Put that on the resume.
Here's Rose. Onto her left foot, Deanne Rose. Up and over the crossbar. Swaby just skips past Shaw and then past Matthews as well. You can see where the channels start to open up for Jamaica, but it's almost as if that they can't get the player at the end of the channel to get in the right spot soon enough.
Yeah, it seems a bit uncoordinated at times where their movements are, a little bit misread. The ideas are right, the effort's there to make the run, but they're just not able to connect right now. And a lot of that has to be given credit to Canada and the way they defend. Very, very smart in the back. They have the athleticism, but they also read the game very well.
The team that qualified for Jamaica in the Concacaf Women's Championship, there's 10 different changes to this squad here. So the turnover from Jamaica is a lot more than this Canadian team where every single player on this roster was a part of their World Cup team last summer. The cohesion is evident here in the way Canada is defending, but also getting forward. Rose takes her space. Becky also has a hat trick. Her third of the night, Janine Becky gives a big old hug to her teammates.
This is a great run here. Haidema's able to find Rose, who faces her up and pushes in line, and they get second chances, so there's those runs there, but it really doesn't get more textbook than that on the finish. I mean, she makes it look way easier than it actually is when there's pace coming back across. To put it back where it came from, it's just high-level finishing.
It's a good old near post tuck away. Ball's coming across the face of goal, right back where it came from.
And Haidema made sure not to get in the way of that. She's like, I've already got mine. I'll make sure Becky can get
Gosh,
this
those
one.
two are really working well together. You get a hat trick,
Very
I'll get a hat
coordinated
trick.
effort.
Let's give each other assists and just be all over the score sheet. That's what Haidema and Becky said to each other before this game. They have been a part of every single goal tonight, those two. Rose making her presence known too, a goal and an assist for her.
Canada has to be happy about that front three tonight. I mean, they have really generated a lot of opportunities, and the finishing accuracy on the opportunities they've generated has been extremely high.
That's what it looks like. The front three do all the scoring here. 3 goals for Haidema, 3 goals for Becky. 1 goal for Rose, but that last dribble, she had an attack there a couple minutes ago too. Rose might not be done yet either. She pushes it all the way to Lawrence. Lawrence had 2 goals on Wednesday. She's going for number 1 tonight, and that's going to get deflected for a corner kick in favor of Jamaica. Excuse me, Canada. Lawrence is still down after that one. Ashley Lawrence, the 2019 Canadian Women's Soccer Player of the Year. Played the most minutes for Canada during their calendar year last year. Shoots a little treatment here from her training staff.
Yeah, she takes a touch here, and she's always looking for goal. And you really didn't see a whole lot happen, but she's been taken down a few times today. She's had some hard challenges, so might be something that's just reoccurring.
Canada still with 1 available sub, and it looks like they're going to make it. Adriana Leon, who, if you're Jamaica, you don't like the looks of that, because Leon had 4 goals on Wednesday night. Tied for leading scorer now with Jordan Heidema and Lindsay Horan of the United States for the most goals in this tournament. But I think if you're Canada, you're thinking about that more than Leon coming on. Is you hope Ashley Lawrence is all right. We've talked about her all night, just her addition to the midfield and how much she's given to this team over the last couple years.
She's very mobile as a player. She's able to get in and out of spaces quickly, and you don't like to see her coming off the field at this point in the game.
Ball comes in from Becky, driven, far post. Buchanan lets it run. McCoy with some good defending there. Not letting Buchanan get to the end line, who's wearing the armband after Desiree Scott left the field. Buchanan takes the armband. Just noticing that now. Buchanan played her collegiate soccer at West Virginia University. And now she's a target for Leon. Little bend, McCoy sends it out. And don't know how you can be offside on a corner kick. It went out of bounds. Went out of bounds. That makes more sense to my brain. It's hard to be behind the ball off of a corner, beyond it. But seen weirder things, but it was out of bounds. Where will you start? Canada picks the ball back off of Jamaica. Becky. Goes all the way to Rose. Now Revere. Had one of the best goals of the tournament so far on Wednesday night. Shaw doing anything she can right now to try to make any kind of impact. Gonna get our last sub, it looks like, for Jamaica here. It's gonna be number 15, Tiffany Cameron. Played about 24 minutes on Wednesday. She comes in for Shayna Matthews. Cameron actually from Toronto, but California. So, not the same. Did that make you laugh? That was a good one?
A little bit. I thought that was pretty good. A little chuckle.
Ball comes in here. Jamaica trying to make their best effort at getting their first ever Concacaf Women's Olympic qualifier goal. It's Shaw. Swings with her right foot, but it was awkward in the end. Can't make anything of it. Here comes Haidema. Stretching the back line. Eyes up. Of course, she connects with Becky. Now to Rose. Rose is just waiting. Seeing who she can play to. Haidema. Gets it again. Oh, it slips through Rose. Was she onside? She wasn't. Ooh, and Schneider kind of taking that one straight off the face.
You know,
Not even phased.
As they came into the second half, you know, Jamaica had a personnel change bringing Bunny Shaw back. They've tactically tried to press higher up the field, and then you'll just see somehow inadvertently leaves this for Rose and just a little bit offside.
It was a dummy.
Yeah, of course, of course. But, you know, they tried to make this personnel change, which really was effective for those first few minutes and the tactical change of pressing higher. But Canada's done great to really bring Haidema into those wide spaces, and now they're looking for that ball over the top, and they were rewarded with a few goals.
Both teams changing tactically going into the second half, but paying off for Canada. 4 goals now in the second half for the team in white. Leon wants to add to the number. Won't connect there with Becky. And here it comes Swaby, taking up as much space as she can. She has McCoy. She'll find her. Nearly just the wrong side of the run.
It's just clear with Kayla McCoy's body position. She's running into a space, and that needs to be put in front of her.
Haidema and Solon. Haidema's going to win this one. Falls to Leon. Adriana Leon. Good defensive work by Solon.
You know, Jamaica has to be aware of that left foot of Leon. She scored quite a few from that left side to the back post, and they did well to cover there with 2 defenders.
If you missed the game on Wednesday, 2 of Leon's goal came right maybe in that same pocket of space with her left foot. She goes short here to Becky. Will receive it again. Goes to goal. Had a lot of runners in the box, though.
Oh, I wouldn't be happy if I was one of the players in the box. You know, the technical errors do happen, but it looked like she was going for goal there. So hopefully next time she'll be looking for those runners in the back post.
Little less than 15 left here in Edinburgh, Texas, HEB Park. I'm Jordan Angeli alongside U.S. International Casey White. We have the pleasure of bringing you all of these games that Canada faces in Group B here at the Concacaf Women's Olympic Qualifiers. And Canada have been clinical. 18 goals so far in this tournament, coming from 8 different players. Christine Sinclair beat the all-time international goal record. Stat after stat going in Canada's favor. Exactly where you want to be when you're in a tournament situation.
Yes, they've taken care of the goal differential. They've done really well. It's turned into results. And, you know, as the games build and as it gets harder and harder, you want all of these players involved. You want everyone feeling confident as they go into the difficult games.
Zadorsky takes down Shaw. Right away, she didn't want the foul to be called, knowing that those pink boots of Shaw can strike it from just about anywhere. If you're Canada, you have to be also happy because 18 of your 20 players have had an opportunity to get minutes here in the first 2 games. The only player is not seeing the pitch so far, Nichelle Prince, Sabrina D'Angelo, Sabrina the 3rd goalkeeper. But Canada has some work to do here. Of course, they like the goals, but they also like that big goose egg on the other side. Havana Salon. Born and raised in Gainesville, went to the University of Florida. Now getting to represent Jamaica. Has the honor of this one. She plays it to the back post, trying to look for Shaw, and it doesn't beat Sophie Schmidt. Bonflaza beats the first defender, goes near post. LaBe just falls on it. From that distance, it's hard to play a lofted ball into the into the box like that.
It is. I like the creativity of it, but it's just a little bit close to really have much space. At this high of a level, goalkeepers can come out or defenders can drop off quite easily.
It's like it needed a little extra
It
whip
did.
on it.
It did.
A little more punch, a little bit more speed as Blackwood earns a foul, gets the ball back into her team's possession. Football knows no gender. Football knows tenacity. This is your open invitation to get off the sidelines and get in the conversation. Concacaf W, we belong. Canada content with just keeping possession. Schmidt. There's Julia Grosso. Bonflaza read that one well and denied the switch a point of attack there from Canada. Buchanan's been eager to play that ball. She almost got it nearly perfect. I think she wants to get it there without that bounce before it hits the...
That's what I would want if I was collecting it out there. So hopefully that's the demand her teammates are putting on her. You can tell she's looking for it, and just a little short on that one, but I hope she continues to keep looking for that ball.
Revere stopping the defenders in her tracks. Far post, Salon takes care of it, but it's gonna go out for another corner kick for Canada. Their 6th of the night. Tough night for Busby and Sydney Schneider there. She played in 4 of the 5 games in their last qualification tournament back for the World Cup in 2018. Defending to do here for Jamaica. Smith and Heidema. Nobody even close to her. Jordan Heidema just taps it in at the back post.
I mean, it's another case of great organization and a good secondary opportunity. I mean, Sophie Schmidt does great to get to that near post space, but like you said, she was able to get away. And you can just watch the movement here, and Chantel Swaby just doesn't follow her in that instant, but she flicks it on, and optimistic by a center forward, thinking the ball may come to me, I better be ready, and it's just a good finish.
A near post run. Kept it alive by Schmidt. Heidema saw Leon score 4 goals in the opening game, so she thought, I'll try it too. 4th goal of the night for Heidema.
At this level, though, if I'm Schneider, I'm not happy with the defensive organization there. And yes, Canada is taking advantage of those mistakes, but that has to be organized, especially when you have a player that's known for her goal scoring no matter what the age is. She's already on a hat trick on the day. If I make that save, I'm not happy if players aren't tracking throughout the box.
You can kind of see that in the Jamaican players' faces as Havana Salon looked behind her as she's covering the near post, and she just saw the free runner, and a little look of disappointment. And you know better than anyone, right? They're all going to watch this film, and they're all going to see what happened, and those are never fun sessions to be in.
No, they're not fun, but it's so important. You have to be open to learning. You have to be competitive enough to know that sometimes you have to look at those moments to make sure the entire group and the collective gets better and better.
Really good play on the far side between Schmidt and Rose. defended that time. Swaby does her part to deflect it into the hands of her goalkeeper. Shaw flicks it on. Chasing it down is Tiffany Cameron. Cameron coming into the game a few minutes ago. All-time leading goal scorer at Ohio State. 40 goals there when she was playing collegiately. Jamaica needs one. All three of those front runners for them. Khadijah Shaw, Tiffany Cameron, Kayla McCoy can score goals, and I'm sure all of them want to be the first one to score Jamaica's first Concacaf Women's Olympic qualifying goal. Carl playing left back. Had 90 minutes just a couple nights ago. One of the difficult things about this qualifying tournament is you have a game every 2 days. So you get 2 days rest in between, and then it's back after it. Almost simulating what it's like at the Olympics, which is a good practice, but it's tough and rigorous. And these teams having to show how deep of rosters they have. The other challenging part, you go from 20 players to 18.
It is difficult. The depth, more depth you have, the better off you're going to be in any international tournament, and Canada is showing that here today. And they've got to be thinking in these last 5+ minutes is not getting any injuries, getting out of this game, and making sure that they are able to use that depth going forward.
Seems like Becky and Heidema just know where each other are at all times. An interesting stat would be how many connections those two have had all night, because their eyes are always for each other as Becky just threaded the seam there.
They seamlessly have opposite movements when they're playing. You can see most of the time that they're playing off each other quite well, and what you don't see very often is players like that find each other in those central areas. That's hard to do because that space is so compact, and they do a great job of it.
Zadorsky having to do some tough defensive work there against Khadijah Shaw. Bunny, maybe the best nickname in women's soccer. She got it from her family, ate a lot of carrots when she was growing up. Can Bunny Shaw be the difference? She wins the first ball. Now it's Cameron. Oh, she knew she had a chance there. Tiffany Cameron's toe poke doesn't make it past the line of defense. She gets a flick here. Falls back to her, Cameron. Still on it. Looking for help. Bonflaza ran herself offside. Hubert Busby, goalkeeper coach and one of the assistant coaches back in the 2019 Women's World Cup for Jamaica, now the head coach. Pondering, looking on as his team down 8 goals here. A tough outing against Canada. Second all-time meeting between the two. The first back in 2014. And Becky, will she make it 4? No, she won't. Snyder. Handball there from Rose, and Jamaica will get the ball back.
You mentioned the connection of Heidema and Becky. Heidema came in, flicked it right on into the path of her run, and Jamaica does well to cut down the angle, and a great save by Schneider, but that connection has worked really well today.
Not going to read off all those goals because it's been a few, and it's been by only 3 players, Heidema and Becky. 4 and 3, respectively. Here they go again. Another connection. Heidema facing up. Blackwood defending. So is Swaby. So is Asher. Solon. Everybody trying to get the ball away from Jordan Heidema. Good ball by Carl. Oh, this is some nice movement. Leon! Blocked by Schwabe. Ends up being offside. Nice little movement and combination play on the left side by Canada there.
Since Gabby Carl's come in too, she's just more naturally in the wide spaces, so Becky's able to play inside, and she does play this ball behind. Just I think a little offside there by Rose getting in, but just a little creativity from Becky when she's in those inside spaces has made it hard to defend for the Jamaican back line.
Going back to the last time these two teams met in Concacaf women's qualifying, well, it was back in 2014 in Costa Rica. Canada beat Jamaica 6-0. Scoring 2 more goals here tonight. Christine Sinclair had 2 of those goals back in 2014. That's how long she's been around scoring goals for Canada. Didn't get a chance to see the field tonight. Probably didn't make her too upset. Christine Sinclair did not like all the attention on her, but we will talk her up as much as we can because she made a very difficult task look pretty easy the other night, scoring the tying goal and the tie-breaking goal to be the all-time leading international goal scorer, man, woman, anyone. The 185. Here comes Blackwood. Trying to find a way to get a goal is Jamaica. Cameron can't get on the end of it. Here comes Salon. Playing a little bit more outside back here. Leon kicks it out of bounds, but thinks she gets the ball after that. Funny reaction there. You always think it's your ball, right?
You have to. You have to.
Salon picks it back up. Wiltshire. Shot goes well wide of the goal. Zadorsky currently playing for the Orlando Pride. Gets this one back underway. As we tick into the last few seconds of regulation, we're going to get 3 added minutes to this one. As Becky chases this one down, picked up by Allison Swaby. Asher misplayed that one, and the possession is going to go back in favor of Canada. $19 goals so far in 2 games here for Canada. They're really putting on a show. They're showing good poise on the ball, good movement off the ball, but it feels like it's a cohesive unit.
That's probably what's been most impressive. It's very fluid. The way they play, their movements, their interchange. Yeah, there's different intricacies of, different partnerships depending on the personnel that's in there, but you can see an identity from the way they're playing, and it's extremely hard to defend a team that has the kind of movements that they're having right now in attack.
Sure has been fun to watch. It's been fun to call Jordan Angeli. That was Casey White ranting in to the last 90 seconds here. Schmidt just takes her time on the ball, not forcing anything. Canada nearing 450 passes in this one. Jamaica half of that is what they're at. Just over 200. So they try to connect and just get one on frame. Cameron picks it up. Oh, what a ball. Janine Becky has Rose. Rose with 1 goal tonight. Dribbles herself out of the face of goal. Heidema, 5 for her. 9 for Canada. Jordan Heidema gets the last goal of the game, maybe.
We mentioned it earlier. You know, Rose could have shot on frame there, but the decision making is right. The unselfishness is right. I even thought she could have gone down here with a little touch, but a lot of players would have looked to try to get this on frame, but she plays the right ball. And when you have 2 attacking players and 4 defenders, there should not be that much space available, but Canada takes advantage of it.
Again, I'm just shocked that Haidema is so free. Jamaica didn't, it's not as if they didn't recover well. They had 4 players in the box. Haidema still, nobody even close to her to pressure her. Her 5th of the night makes it 9-0 in favor of Canada. Asher with the shot. It's wide, a goal.
That's really the story, though. It's the final third. It's, you know, you have to be able to make great runs in the box. You have to be able to mark in the box, and Canada's made Jamaica pay.
And that's going to be it. Melissa Borjas calls it. Canada, 9 goals on Jamaica here in Edinburgh, Texas. It was a showing by that woman. Jordan Haidema, 5 goals, now sitting on 6 in the tournament. Well, in possession of that golden boot. But all that matters is Canada takes this one against Jamaica, 9-0. We're gonna have full highlights, interviews from both teams and stats when we get back from this 90 minutes second group stage for Canada and Jamaica. We'll be back in just a few.